In this lesson, we're going to go ahead and apply all of our light planes to their own light mixer controls so that whenever we go to render, we can actually control their intensity independently of each other, or we could turn them on and off at, at, at any level that we want to, so we have a huge amount of control whenever it comes to lighting our scene. So let's just go ahead and select this first one. As you can see, it's named plane 1. This means that this is going to be just our first emitter. So with it selected, let's go over here to our Fryrender object properties window and change the light mixer to light mixer fader number 1. Same thing for the second one here. Let's go over to fader number 2, click accept. This one here, go over to fader number 3 and click accept. This fourth one, go over to fader number 4 and click accept. And the last one here, go over to fader number 5 and click accept. Now that we have all those set up, what we want to do is go ahead and bring a camera in our scene, which we can go ahead and do this by simply creating our Fryrender camera and just click it. And then we want to go ahead and look through our Fryrender camera, and let's just go ahead and get in a position to where we think we would want to render, which I'm pretty happy, say like right there. Now let's move it down and try to angle it a little better, and that's good for me. Now as you can see, I have what is our heads up display here and our object distances from camera to display here. This is very important when we go to render, because if we set, say, our depth of field of our camera, which for this object, which is 127 away from the camera, if we set that much lower, there's going to be a lot of noise in the scene here, and typically you will see that whenever you start rendering with Fryrender, is you want to go ahead and come over to your object attribute window, and you want to scroll down to your depth of field tab here. Now since we know this is 127 units away from the camera, we want to go ahead and say set this to maybe 175. This means that it's going to render completely behind it, and it's going to catch all this background plane information as well, and it's going to clean it up to there. We want to go ahead and also turn up our f-stop. So the higher you set this, the darker the overall image is going to be. Now if we go ahead and say set this to 25, it's going to be an extremely dark image whenever we go to render it. But that's okay, because we have a lot of light emitting planes in our scene, and then we can control the control the intensity of independently, and we can really light up our scene very simply. And with all that set up, in the next lesson we'll go ahead and check our render settings and then go ahead and render.